First thing you want to do whenever you are cleansing and conditioning your hair, whether you are wavy, swavy, curly, or coily, is to make sure you get your hair fully saturated. You want to make sure that you are using plenty of water and not leaving any dry spots in your hair, because then that way you can make sure that the product has enough slip to get through your scalp and your ends without worrying about where it's going to end up. When it comes to washing your hair, I totally get that some people love using really hot water, but you want to make sure that you are using a medium temperature, something in between warm and cool. Cool water is great when you condition, especially if you have color treated or bleached hair. And warm water is really great, especially in the winter months, but you want to make sure that you are not over drying your hair by using excessively hot water. Now, whenever I use InnerSense, I make sure that I awaken the product, especially the hair bath. You want to make sure that you emulsify it in your hands first, awaken those oils in the product, and then really get in there on the scalp. You really want to see a bubble bath lather. If you are a curly or someone who works out a lot or sweats a lot, maybe has an oily scalp, you may not see a lather the first time that you go in to shampoo your hair, and that's totally okay. You do want to eventually get to that bubble bath, so what you want to do if you do not get it on the first try is to lather, emulsify, awaken the product, go in and try to get that first layer of buildup off of your hair, then go back in, rinse, and repeat. A double cleanse isn't necessary all of the time. It's really great for anyone who's very active, maybe uses a lot of product. If you know that you tend to get heavy-handed, especially with maybe gels and creams, I do recommend working the shampoo down a little bit onto your ends, just so you can ensure that you get everything off of the hair whenever you are cleansing. For all of my clients, I do start with a clarifying shampoo or a detox mask to ensure that I can get the best clean there is whenever it comes to their cleansing. In this case, I used the Malibu Sea clarifying shampoo as a first cleanse, and I will be going back in with the InnerSense hydrating cream hair bath on this client and really working it into her hair. Again, I emulsify and awaken the product in my hands before I apply to her scalp. And now you can see that she's really getting a wonderful lather at the scalp. We want to make sure that you feel nice and clean, but not so squeaky clean that it's kind of painful or your scalp feels excessively dry. I love following up a clarifying shampoo or a detox mask with a more hydrating shampoo or hair bath. Any of the ones that InnerSense offers are really nice and hydrating, and they are great for any type of hair. So if you have fine hair, low density hair, or maybe are looking for more volume, I would recommend the Pure Harmony hair bath. If you are someone who has coarse, thick hair, or maybe super color treated hair, I would recommend either the color awakening duo or the hydrating cream hair bath. Now I'm just rinsing out all of that product, making sure that there is no shampoo lingering on the hair. You want to make sure there's no product, the hair looks nice and hydrated. Some people do have lower porosity hair, so it does take a little bit longer for water to penetrate into the hair strands. Another thing I have come across is anyone who has dehydrated hair, the hair that doesn't really retain moisture very well, that can also take you a lot longer to learn how to not only style, but really make sure you are cleansing and keeping the hair hydrated during your cleanse. Now I'm going in and using the hydrating cream hair bath on her ends. This is one of the most hydrating conditioners that InnerSense offers. I love using this on anyone who has very color treated hair, lots of enlightened pieces like my client does here. She has a lot of green on her ends, and your hair has to be very, very blonde underneath to get that type of vivid color. So what I'm doing is I emulsified and then I'm working through every section. I recommend that everyone uses a type of detangling tool whenever they are going through and working the conditioner through their hair. You can see that with the conditioner, her hair is just gliding, it's nice and smooth. If you are someone who prefers to use their hands, I do recommend using either a wide tooth comb or a very gentle detangling brush, just so that way you can make sure that you get any single shed hair that comes out of your head throughout the day or the week totally off of your head. This will prevent any tangles, any increased volume that maybe you're having issues with, and it'll also make sure that you are just really working that conditioner through and you don't have to go back in and add excessive products to get your hydration. Some of my favorite detangling brushes are Wet Brush. That is a fabulous brand. I usually pick those up for myself either at Ross or Marshall's because they're a fraction of the price. The one that I'm currently using in this video is the Kare brush brand. This is the detangling brush. This is actually the smaller version. They actually have a longer handled version as well that is great for my long-haired curlies. So whatever works best for you. What I recommend for your detangling brush is to use a brush that has flexible bristles. Ensuring that your brush has flexible bristles will make sure that you are protecting your hair while it is in a most fragile state. A lot of people don't realize that your hair is most fragile whenever it's wet. Water will penetrate the hair cuticle and that will cause it to swell, making it easier to snap off. That is why I tell everyone to be very gentle when detangling. I do not recommend the Denman brush, even though that is a curly favorite. I only recommend it for styling after your hair has already been detangled. I also love the Felicia Leatherwood brush with the best brush. That is a fabulous brush for both detangling and styling, just like the Kare brush I'm using in this video. There are lots of options, and you can definitely use whatever works best for you, but making sure you're really taking care of your hair in this process is going to ensure minimal breakage, minimal shedding, and maximum joy whenever you're styling. Another thing I recommend is going in sections whenever you are detangling. You can absolutely just split your hair down the middle and detangle on both sides. But if you do have a lot of hair or it has been several days since you last cleansed and conditioned, I would recommend just going through, making sure every section feels nice and smooth and you're really working the conditioner through. For my color treated curlies, I would recommend doing a hydrating hair mask and or bond building treatment a couple times a month. It does depend on what color you have in your hair and what your desired result is and how healthy your hair is on a regular day-to-day. For most of my color treated curlies, I do recommend at least twice a month for a deep conditioning treatment and at least once a month for bond building. If you know that your hair is overly porous, extremely dry, or extremely blonde, I do recommend alternating. So 1 week you would do a deep conditioning mask, the next you would do a bond building treatment, and then vice versa. You would just alternate every week. If you wash your hair more often than once a week, I would say to keep your treatments to a minimum to once a week. That way you're not overdoing it. Too much of a good thing is absolutely possible when it comes to your hair, and we don't want to cause any excess issues. Once you're done detangling all of your hair, I like to tell my curlies to take a look at the amount of hair that is in the brush. I always like to start detangling with a clean brush, so that way whenever you do remove the hair, you can kind of roll it up into a ball and take a look at how much shedding you have. Something that I tell my curlies is whenever you see that ball starting to grow in size, make sure to keep that in mind. If that happens for several weeks or months at a time, then it is time to go see a medical professional to see if there is something going on internally that maybe we need to address, whether that is hair loss, hormonal changes, or anything like that. Once you're done detangling, I love rinsing out all of the conditioner. I never really leave anything in because I know that the hair is nice and shiny and healthy and hydrated. This is how I love to cleanse and condition all my curlies in salon. If you have any questions about how I style or how to do this process on yourself at home, please feel free to leave a comment below. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out via Instagram. Have a great day, y'all.